Hey, how's it going, everybody? Much love. It's Daniel, Southwest Screen. I do hope you all are doing well out there. Sorry I hadn't been posting a lot lately, my friends. It was a long winter. Had a little bit of health issues coming out of the fall, going into the winter. Also lost my grandfather, who meant so much to me. He was a great man. He took me into his home and raised me since I was a little boy. So it's been tough getting through that. But we're doing all right, my friends. Today we're back at it again. It feels good to be out here in the wilderness. Got my dog with me, Skylo. And today we're out here, we're looking for a particular place. So as many of you might know, a lot of the places we go to are Dene, Navajo, Apache ruins, sites that are, 300-400 years old. But today we're out here. We aim to make it to a specific site that is Anasazi. So we're talking 800 years old. I've been looking for this particular spot for about a year. So last summer I came out here a couple of times looking for it. Coming up short, we did not find it. Checking this spot, checking that spot. But today, I believe we got her locked in, my friends. So what we're doing now is we're hiking through these badlands. As you can see, we're out here in these badlands. Just behind me here, off in the distance, we got Angel Peak just above my head, way back there. God willing, this summer we aim to make a trip up to Angel Peak. It's a beautiful place. But we're out in these badlands. We're gonna try to find this specific site, and we wanted to share these things with you. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you do enjoy. We got Skylo with us. He sure is happy to be back at it too, my friends. It's been a long winter, huh, buddy? So, yeah, as I said, we're out here in the Badlands. As you can see, we're out here. You can see the mountains way out there in the distance, the La Plata Mountains, the San Juan Mountains. So it's a pretty good sight up here. As we turn around, you can see there's this large wash coming down this canyon. So we're headed off into that direction, out that way, and we aim to look for this site. And as I said, you can see Angel Peak off in the distance. Can't really see it from this angle, but if you look at it from the north, off that way, you can see that it looks like an angel. So pretty awesome. So this specific site that we're looking for, it was apparently excavated in the year 1915 or so, and apparently it contains about 17 rooms or so. It's a Chaco Canyon Outlier. So I don't know how many miles specifically it is from Chaco Canyon to here, but if you're looking at Chaco Canyon on a map, as I was looking on Google Maps, you can see that Fajada Butte, Chaco Canyon, this place is due almost perfectly north from Chaco Canyon. So we do believe this is one of the outliers at the end of the North Road. So it's going to be amazing if we could find it and see it. It's kind of interesting stuff. We wanted to, God willing, get into some of the Anasazi stuff this spring and summer. Visit some of these places and share some of these things. So I nearly stepped on it. But here you can see there's a piece of pottery. Looks like it's just a straight gray, but pretty cool. I don't know what that is right there. That's just a rock. But so it seems we're getting closer to the edge of this. There, he's off chasing a rabbit or something. What'd you find, buddy? He was chasing after a rabbit or something or another. What did you find? So it seems we're getting closer to where this Badlands drops off into the wash. So you can see the wash down there. So we're getting closer to the edge of this thing. You can see there's a piece of pottery right there. Also looks like a smaller piece there. Some looks like some chert. It's been broken and flakes taken off of it. There's a piece of pottery. You can see there's black stripe on the corner there, the bottom corner. And this corrugated piece. You can see that's corrugated. Really cool. So we're starting to see some things. Oh, that's very interesting. It's like just a piece of rock, but when I feel it right here, it's super smooth on this surface here. So that might have been some kind of stone tool. There's another corrugated piece right here. Really cool. Seen a lot of, like chert and stone tool type material. Some of this stuff is just flat rock, but it almost looks like pottery. But as you can see, there is pottery mixed in. There's another piece. Pretty cool. It's just a lot, starting to see it all over. There's another one. Little tiny piece. White. Piece of corrugated. It's pretty worn down. There's another piece of corrugated sitting right in there. Seems there's a lot of corrugated pottery, more than anything else I've seen yet. Here's another piece, two more pieces. So you can see that one. And there's this one here too. So, man, we're really starting to see a lot of pottery. Like a cow walked through here pretty recently. There's some more pottery right there. Corrugated. There's some more pottery right there. Corrugated. Some interesting flat rock there. So where we're headed to, we're not too far from it now. We're headed down there. Just on that point you could see, and I believe that's where that structure sits. It's on that little finger there that's jutting out towards the wash. There's a nice piece of chert right there. It's sharp on both sides. Could have been used for, slicing game, butchering and stuff. It's really sharp on that one side. The dog still hasn't come back. He's after that jackrabbit. Get him back in our neighborhood. There he is. How far'd you go? How far'd you go? I can see you're out of breath. So we got some snow a couple days ago. I was hoping it wasn't going to be too muddy to get out here. And had a couple nice days, so it pretty much dried it all out. Some more pottery right there. Right here on the edge. Oh yeah, now you can see the bottom. Right over there is where we're headed on that finger. I can see some of that structure from here, matter of fact. There's a few things starting to turn green. Excited. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop my bag as we come up here, because this is definitely where that site is. See where those two washes come together and turn into one. See there's an oil filled road down there across the wash. Looks like it even crosses it on that one side. So we've made it to this site, my friends. You can see this top of this wall right here. Oh yeah, you can see this wall. Very cool. "800 years back in history." You can see how nicely stacked this particular wall is here. Wall right here that's really neatly stacked. Definitely of a Chacoan nature. Down here, see the really thin pieces. Looks like this is one room that we're standing in. Looks like this would be a wall here, and then going into another room here. See the wall buried right there. On this side you can see the same thing. You got a wall going right through here. Same thing here. You can see these mounds. There's another mound right there. You can see that's all structure underneath these mounds. right over on the edge of this cliff now. See there's some really mature lichens on a lot of this stuff, so this stuff has been sitting out exposed, I'm sure, even before they excavated this partially back in 1915. Some more real pretty lichens, really mature. Come down, you can see this one rock there that's completely covered in it. Much larger volcanic stones here. So again, right out to the point, you got a structure here. It's kind of circular right here on this point. You can see the wall going right through there. Of course, it's all buried up. So we walk carefully. See, there's another room just there. And then a wall separating another room from right there. You see all the structure kind of falling down, sliding down the edge of this hill, down there into the bottom. But on this side you could really see the structure. You see the structure of this wall where it comes to a four-way right here. So there's 4 rooms that are split apart right here. So you got that room, this room, that room, and that room. 4 rooms right here. And this wall you could really see. This wall you could really see the nature of this structure. Again, all this rock just going down the side. I'm sure there's a lot of it's already on the bottom, because it's just all through here. You can see it's just been going right over the edge for 800 years or so. Looks like there's some cow trails down there that go up the hill. Here to this point. And it's again about 100 foot down. See that structure there. As we come back up, we'll start walking back the other way. And you can see this canyon back here. That's where we came in, was from the other side. So looking here, there's an old corn husk. Is it what that looks like? Put it back in that bush. It's probably what's been holding it. disappearing into the wind. Coming back up, you can see these structures under this mound. A lot of time set between their exposure and now. Right here you could really see where all this rock is falling down. So as we come down in here to this circular structure, you can see this well-preserved wall. Skylo's catching its shade right here. Even down here you can see there's a window, an old loophole right down there, partially buried. Unfortunately, it does look like there's some rodents or something kind of burrowing down into this structure. So looking as I go into this room here, looks like there's some corrugated pottery just sitting in here on top of this wall next to this grass right there. It's likely that was just placed there by a visitor. I haven't really seen a lot of pottery down here within the structures besides that one piece there. But I'm sure underneath it all you'd find, you know, if they ever further excavated this, I'm sure they would find all kinds of interesting things. Unfortunately, a lot of pottery and stuff is removed by visitors as, you know, it's exposed by rain and such. That's why we try to keep these sites limited to knowledge of where they're at. Anyone who really wants to appreciate these places, you know, they'll find these places, but we want to keep these things kind of partially hidden from the general public for such reasons. Because people like to remove and destroy even without knowledge. So here you can really see the partially circular structure. So here we got a bit of a sign. Chaco Culture Protection Sites. Chacoan Outlier. These ruins were part of the prehistoric Chacoan Anasazi cultural area. These prehistoric people developed a distinctive architectural style in the San Juan River Basin by AD 900. Their sites include multi-storied buildings, core veneer walls, Chaco-style kivas, and tabular banded masonry. Archaeological research has shown that Chaco Canyon, New Mexico was the ceremony center and possibly the economic and administrative center as well for a sprawling network involving as many as 75 outlying communities, such as this one. These were spread over 30,000 square miles and were connected by an extensive system of prehistoric roads and signal sites. The ruin you are visiting is one of the outlying sites connected to Chaco Canyon. The nature of the interaction between Chaco Canyon and its outlying communities is still largely unknown. Those outliers directly associated with roads may have been colonies that traded directly with Chaco Canyon. Other outliers evolved out of local communities, were largely self-sufficient and traded more with nearby groups than with the large pueblos in Chaco Canyon. Chaco Canyon flourished until the mid-1100s, at which time there was a rapid depopulation of the canyon and much of the San Juan Basin. Although some areas around the periphery of the basin experienced additional periods of growth and population aggregation into the late 1100s and through the 1200s. By AD 1300, major portions of the Four Corners area were abandoned entirely. What the Chaco and Anasazi achieved is astonishing by any standard. In a dry basin, these adaptable farmers developed a sophisticated and complex society, massive architecture, extensive road systems, and successful agricultural strategies. All attest to the perseverance of the high efficient of these masters of the desert. Understanding the rise and collapse of this cultural system can guide us to our use of this fragile environment today. And of course, you got these seals. Of course, Bureau of Indian Affairs, United States, of the Great Seal of New Mexico, Great Seal of the Navajo Nation, Department of the Interior, the Forest Service, and the National Park Service. So, yeah, this is related to Chaco Canyon. You know, with that wash down there and much of the clay of this area, it's quite possible that these guys could have been in charge of something such as, you know, making pottery or something else. It's kind of hard, I would imagine, to grow much down in an area like this, but as you can see, there's even right now there's some water kind of lightly flowing just down there above that kiva wall. Of course, it did just snow, but there's natural springs that especially as you get farther up into the Badlands, and as you go south, you see some, and as you go north, which is this way, I personally know of some really strong natural springs that keep the eastern side of this wash system flowing pretty much year-round. So it's quite possible this outlier here could have been in charge of something as simple as making pottery. I don't really see a burn box, so it doesn't mean that there wasn't one here, but a lot of times you would see that they could signal to each other from large distances. For example, you know, top of those hills, or we know that there were in fact signal systems, so they could you know, let each other know when it was solstice or equinox, and do their ceremonies that they would practice during those times. Looking out here, as I zoom back away, you can see there is another structure buried here and also right over there. You can't really see them, but that's what those are. Those are structures underneath the ground that haven't been excavated. As we walk up, we're basically now standing in the middle of what looks like probably a 4-room structure. As we go down to this other one, you can see there was, it's hard to say what might have been here as far as how many rooms, but I would say at least 4 large rooms, perhaps one here, one there, one where Skylo's at, and perhaps maybe one right over here. But again, you can see there's pottery just laying on the ground here. There's a piece. There's a couple of little tiny pieces. And of course, everything's kind of getting washed down through here and over that edge. So there's just a couple pieces here that you can see are very orange in nature. And what I believe these are is pieces of what was probably a sweat lodge. I've come across a few sweat lodges, some of which I I'd like to share with you in the future. And that's what happens to them after they're fired for so long, is they turn this orange color. So it's likely that these pieces here are part of an old sweat lodge. Right here looks like what's probably likely a bit of a monostone. It's really smooth. Probably somewhere under the surface there's probably likely a metate as well. So here we can see this graph, this chart from 1986 of what archaeologists believe is laying beneath. And I thought I'd share that with you. But we do appreciate you coming with us on this journey, my friends, and we look forward to getting back out into that wilderness, God willing. So we got many plans going into the spring and summer, and we appreciate you watching. Thank you.